Ryan stepped off the small shuttle and looked around the busy galactic trading station. The place was loud and full of life. Aliens of many shapes and colors walked past, trading goods and sharing stories. Ryan had been away from this station for many years, traveling to distant planets on important missions. Now finally he was back. He pulled his coat tighter around him as a cold wind blew through the open walkways. He wasn't sure what to expect. The station had changed since he left. New shops had opened, and new faces were everywhere. Yet deep inside, a feeling of home stayed with him. As Ryan moved through the crowd, he noticed someone standing near the station's large viewing window. She was watching the stars outside, but when he walked closer, she turned around. Ryan stopped in surprise. It was an alien woman. She was tall, with smooth, pale skin that shimmered softly under the stations lights. Her eyes were large and bright blue, full of emotion. She wore simple clothes, but there was something about her that made Ryan's heart beat faster. "Ryan," she said quietly, her voice soft but clear. "It has been a long time." Ryan blinked, confused. "Do I know you?" She smiled sadly. "I am Lyra. Do you remember me?" He searched his mind. The name sounded familiar, but he could not place it. Lyra took a step closer, and he saw the hope and pain in her eyes. "You promised we'd marry," she said, almost like a whisper. Ryan's heart stopped for a moment. Marry? This was a shock. He had no memory of such a promise.
Faith.
How could this be true? "I'm sorry," he said slowly. "I don't remember." Lyra looked away, pain crossing her face. "It was a long time ago, before the war, before you left." Ryan tried to think harder. Years ago, on a distant planet, he had met many aliens during a peace mission. Could she be one of them? "Please," Lyra said, her voice shaking.
I
"Promise me. You said we would be together, that our people would be united because of us." Ryan looked around. No one was paying attention to them. This was between him and Lyra alone. "Why are you here now?" he asked. After all this time, Lyra's eyes filled with tears. "Because I never stopped waiting. Because the galaxy is dangerous, and we need each other." Ryan felt a strange mix of emotions, guilt, confusion, and something like hope. He remembered the stories from his missions, how humans and Lyra's people had fought to keep peace. Maybe this promise was part of that story? "Can we talk?" Ryan asked. "Please, I want to understand." Lyra nodded and led him to a quiet corner of the station. They sat down on a bench, the stars shining through the windows above. "Tell me everything," Ryan said. Lyra took a deep breath. "Years ago, when you came to our planet for peace talks, we met. You were different from the others, kind and brave. We talked for hours. You told me you believed in a better future." Ryan smiled faintly. "I remember feeling hope then." "Believed in you," Lyra said, "and you promised to marry me." It was more than a promise. It was a symbol to show our peoples that they could trust each other. Ryan's mind raced. He had been so focused on his work that he must have forgotten. The personal promise he made? "Why did you wait so long?" he asked softly. "Because hope is all I had," Lyra replied. "And because I knew you would come back." Ryan looked into her eyes and saw the strength and courage behind her words. "What happened after you left?" he asked Lyra. His face grew serious. "War came to my world. Many suffered. I fought to protect my people, but I never gave up on you." Ryan felt a weight in his chest. The galaxy was cruel, but here was Lyra still waiting, still believing. "I want to make things right," he said. "I want to keep my promise." Lyra smiled, and the hope in her eyes returned. "Then we have a long road ahead," Ryan sat quietly, watching the stars. The galaxy was wide and full of dangers, but for the first time in years, Ryan felt a chance for peace and a future with Lyra. Ryan and Lyra sat in the quiet corner of the galactic station, the stars shining bright outside the large window. The noise of the busy station faded as they began to talk about their past. Lyra's voice was soft, but full of meaning. "Do you remember the first time we met? On my home planet, during the peace talks? Ryan closed his eyes and thought hard. Little pieces of memories came back. The tense meetings, the strange colors of the alien cities, and the warmth of Lyra's. Smile, yes, he said slowly. I remember you. You were different from the others. You spoke with hope. Lyra smiled sadly. And you made a promise, Ryan. A promise to marry me. It was a symbol to show our peoples that humans and my people could be friends. Ryan nodded. I remember feeling that hope. But then the war started, and everything changed. Lyra's eyes grew dark with pain. Yes, after you left, my world fell into chaos. Many wanted war. I had to fight to protect my people. And I waited for you, hoping you would come back. Ryan felt the weight of those years. I'm sorry I left. Duty called me away. But I never meant to break my promise. Lyra looked at him with quiet strength. I know, and that hope kept me alive. Then Ryan asked, what happened to your people? How did they survive? Lyra's face grew serious. We fought many battles. Some days were good, some days were hard, but we never gave up. I became a leader because I had to protect everyone. But it was lonely without you. Ryan's heart ached for her. I wish I could have been there. Lyra reached out and touched his hand. Now you are. Damn. And together, maybe we can build the peace we dreamed of. They talked for hours, sharing stories of loss, hope, and courage. Ryan told Lyra about his missions in distant stars, the friends he made, and the dangers he faced. Lyra told him about her people's struggles, the battles, and the long nights waiting for news. As the station's lights dimmed, Lyra said, Ryan, there is more. The galaxy is not safe. My people face a new threat, an empire that wants to take everything by force. Ryan's eyes narrowed. This empire? Is it the reason you came here? Lyra nodded. Yes, I came to find allies, to keep my promise to you and protect my people. Yes. Ryan thought for a moment. Then we must act quickly. Our peoples need to trust each other more than ever. Lyra smiled. That's why your promise means so much. It is a symbol of unity. Ryan stood and looked out at the stars. We have a long road ahead, but I believe we can face it together. Lyra stood beside him, her hand finding his again. Together. Outside, ships flew past the station, carrying hopes and fears from many worlds. Inside, two old friends began to rebuild a future. The quiet meeting between Ryan and Lyra was soon interrupted by news that spread quickly through the galactic station. Reports arrived of rising tensions near Lyra's home system. A powerful enemy empire, known for its harsh rule and aggressive expansion, was moving closer to her people's territory. Ryan listened carefully as Lyra explained the situation. The empire wants to control our planets and resources. If they succeed, many innocent lives will be lost. He frowned, feeling the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. This is more than just a war between worlds. It is a fight for survival. Lyra nodded. Yes, my people need allies, but many do not trust humans. Ryan thought about their past promise and what it could mean now. Maybe our union, our promise, can show others that humans and your people can stand together. Lyra looked hopeful, but worried. Some will see it as weakness, others as a threat. Ryan placed a hand gently on her shoulder. Then we must prove them wrong. The two of them decided to act. Ryan contacted the Human Council and shared everything he had learned. He asked for support to protect Lyra's people and to stop the Empire's advance. Meanwhile, Lyra reached out to leaders of nearby alien clans. Some were willing to listen, but many were afraid. The Empire's power was strong. Not everyone believed in peace. Ryan and Lyra worked day and night, traveling between meetings and sending messages. Each conversation was a test of trust. Old wounds and fear made it hard for some to believe in their cause. One night, Ryan looked at Lyra as she spoke passionately to a group of alien leaders. He saw the strength she carried not just as a fighter, but as a symbol of hope. He stepped forward and spoke. We face a great danger, but together we can stop it. The promise between me and Lyra is a sign of what is possible. Unity. Leaders nodded slowly. Others remained silent. Lyra smiled at Ryan. Every step is hard, but every step counts. As days passed, small victories came. A few clans agreed to join the alliance. Human ships prepared to patrol the borders. The Empire noticed the growing resistance and sent scouts to test their strength. Ryan and Lyra prepared for the challenges ahead. They trained with their crews and studied the Empire's tactics. They knew that the coming battles would be difficult. One evening, as they rested, Ryan asked, "Do you believe we can win?" Lyra looked at the stars. "I believe in us, in the promise we made that is stronger than any weapon. Then we fight not just for survival, but for a future where our peoples can live in peace." Outside, the galaxy waited, uncertain and dangerous. But inside the small quarters of the station, two allies found strength in each other, ready to face whatever came next. Ryan and Lyra faced many challenges as they tried to build trust between their peoples. The galaxy was full of suspicion. Some aliens did not believe a human and an alien woman could unite their worlds. Others thought it was a trick or weakness. In the council halls, their meetings were tense, while some leaders spoke loudly against them. They said. Lyra was betraying her people by trusting a human. Others doubted Ryan's loyalty and called him a stranger. Lyra listened, but stood firm. Our people have suffered enough. We need peace, not more war. Ryan nodded. We have a chance to stop the Empire before it is too late, but their words were not enough. Some groups tried to block their plans. Secret sabotage slowed their efforts. Ships were damaged, and messages were intercepted. One day, during a meeting, a group of alien warriors confronted Lyra. Their voices were angry. How can you trust a human? How can you promise marriage to one? Lyra looked at them with calm eyes. Because I believe in hope. Because I believe that unity is stronger than fear. Ryan stepped forward, his voice steady. I am here to protect her people. I stand with Lyra and with all who want peace. Room grew silent. Some leaders looked away, ashamed of their anger. Others whispered among themselves. Outside the council, rumors spread. Some said Lyra and Ryan were making a mistake. Others believed they were the key to survival. Ryan and Lyra knew they had to prove their trust was real. They decided to lead a mission together to defend a small border planet threatened by the Empire. The planet was important. It was rich in resources and home to many innocent families. If the Empire took it, it would be a great loss. Preparing for the mission, Ryan and Lyra trained their teams. They shared stories and lessons. Their crews learned to work together, humans and aliens side by side. On the day of the mission, the small fleet left the station. The journey was tense but full of hope. When they arrived, they found the planet's defenses weak. Empire ships had already begun attacks. Ryan and Lyra quickly planned their defense. The battle was fierce. Empire fighters swooped down, firing weapons and trying to break through. But Ryan's fleet was clever, used the planet's terrain and new tactics to fight back. Lyra led ground forces, protecting villages and helping refugees. Her people looked to her for courage. Ryan coordinated the fleet, guiding ships to support Lyra's troops and protect the planet's important sites. Slowly, the Empire's forces were pushed back. The planet was saved and hope grew among the defenders. After the battle, Ryan and Lyra stood together, tired but proud. We showed them what unity can do, Lyra said. Ryan smiled. And we showed our peoples that promises can be kept. The victory was small, but it changed many minds. More groups began to believe in their cause. More ships joined their alliance. Still, Ryan and Lyra knew the war was far from over. Bigger battles and harder choices waited, but together, they were stronger. Together, they had a chance to bring peace to the galaxy. As they looked at the stars, Ryan took Lyra's hand. No matter what comes, I will stand with you. Lyra squeezed his hand, and I with you. In a galaxy full of danger and doubt, two souls found trust and hope, ready to face the future together. The day came when the enemy empire launched a full attack on one of Lyra's home planets. The news spread fast through the galaxy. It was a test for the fragile alliance that Ryan and Lyra had built. Ryan stood on the bridge of the human fleet's lead ship, watching the glowing stars outside the windows. His mind was sharp, thinking about the battle ahead. Beside him, Lyra stood tall, her eyes calm but full of fire. "This is our moment," Lyra said quietly. "If we fail, many will suffer." Ryan nodded. "We will not fail. We fight for peace, for our peoples." As the enemy ships appeared on the scanners, Ryan gave the orders. The fleet moved quickly, positioning to defend the planet's key points. The battle was fierce from the start. Enemy ships fired powerful weapons, trying to break through the defenses. Explosions lit up space as ships dodged and fired back. Ryan's crew worked together, humans and aliens side by side. Their training showed. Their tactics surprised the enemy. Small teams took dangerous risks to protect their fleet. Lyra led a strike team on the planet's surface. She moved through forests and cities, helping her people defend their homes. Courage inspired soldiers and civilians alike. During a critical moment, enemy forces broke through a shield and attacked a major city. Lyra rushed to lead the defense. The battle was close, and many lives were at risk. Ryan, tracking the battle from space, coordinated support ships to send reinforcements and supplies. He communicated with Lyra, guiding her through the fight. "Hold your ground," he told her. "Help is on the way." Lyra smiled through the chaos. "We will not give up." After hours of fighting, the Alliance's forces began to push back the enemy. The tide of battle changed. Enemy ships retreated, and ground forces drove them from the city. The victory was hard-won. Many were hurt or lost, but the planet was. Safe as the battle ended, Lyra and Ryan met on the planet's surface. Dust and smoke filled the air, but their faces showed relief. "We did it," Lyra said, her voice strong. "Because we fought together," Ryan replied. "Our peoples united?" Out. The victory sent a message across the galaxy. It proved that humans and Lyra's people could stand as one. Hope grew in the hearts of many who had doubted. The alliance grew stronger. New ships joined the fleet, and more leaders agreed to peace talks. But the war was not over. The Empire was powerful and would try again. Ryan and Lyra prepared for the next challenge, knowing that their promise was more important than ever. "This is just the beginning," Ryan said. Lyra nodded. "But we face it together." As they looked at the stars, their hands found each other's again. Their bond was a symbol, not just of a promise, but of hope for a peaceful future. In a galaxy torn by war, two people stood strong. They were ready to lead their peoples toward peace, no matter the cost. The galaxy watched closely as peace talks began between humans, Lyra's people, and other alien clans. Ryan and Lyra stood side by side, representing their peoples and the fragile alliance they had built. The room was filled with leaders from many worlds. Some were hopeful, others skeptical. The past war had left wounds that would take time to heal. Ryan spoke first. His voice was calm but strong. "We've seen what happens when fear controls us. But we also know what is possible when we trust each other." "My promise to Lyra is a symbol of that trust." Lyra stepped forward. "Our peoples have suffered. But today, we have a chance to build a future where our children can live without fear. Let us take that chance together." The leaders listened, some nodding slowly, others exchanging cautious looks. The talks were difficult. Old grudges came up. Some demanded harsh punishments for past enemies. Others wanted guarantees of safety. Ryan and Lyra worked tirelessly, speaking to leaders in private, finding common ground, calming fears. Outside the room, their people waited anxiously. Many had lost family and friends in the war. Peace was a hope they dared to believe in. After days of talks, an agreement was reached. A new alliance would be formed to protect their worlds and share resources. The promise between Ryan and Lyra became a symbol of unity and hope. The leaders signed the treaty in a quiet ceremony. Cameras from many worlds captured the moment. Ryan and Lyra stood together, their hands joined. The weight of years lifted from their shoulders. Later, in a small garden on the station, Lyra looked at Ryan. "We kept our promise." Ryan smiled. "And now we start a new chapter." They decided to marry not just for themselves, but as a symbol of peace between their peoples. Their wedding was simple but beautiful. Friends and leaders from many worlds came to celebrate. Lyra wore a dress of her people's tradition, soft and flowing. Ryan wore his uniform, proud and clean. As they exchanged vows, the room was filled with hope and joy. After the ceremony, they looked out at the stars together. "This is only the beginning," Lyra said. "But together we can face anything," Ryan replied. Their love and promise had changed the course of the galaxy. From enemies to allies, from fear to hope. In a universe full of dangers, two souls found peace in each other and gave their peoples a future worth fighting for.